You know, there's a particular kind of loneliness that we rarely talk about. It's not about being the only person in a room. No, it's that deep, quiet isolation you feel when you're mentally alone in a crowd. That feeling that your mind is just running a completely different race than everyone else's.
Have you ever been right in the middle of a conversation and before the other person even finishes their point, your brain has already processed it, jumped ahead to 3 possible outcomes, and prepped your reply? You're not really listening anymore, are you? You're just waiting. It's this constant, subtle feeling of being ahead of the moment.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The real issue here isn't some personal flaw. It's a fundamental mismatch between the speed of your inner world and the pace of the world outside.
But here's the thing. This experience, it isn't just some vague feeling or a weird personality quirk. It actually has a name, and psychology gives us a framework to really understand it. What we're talking about is something called asynchronous intellect.
So what does that actually mean? Well, asynchronous intellect describes a very specific kind of cognitive dissonance. Your mind can process information way faster than it's delivered through normal conversation. And that gap, that time you spend waiting, that's where the feeling of disconnect comes from.
If this is all starting to sound eerily familiar, if you've ever felt like an outsider in your own conversations, you are not alone. Go ahead and hit the like button, and I'd be really interested to hear about your experience in the comment. Okay, so how does this actually manifest in the real world? Psychology points to 3 very distinct truths, 3 core signs that an asynchronous mind is at work. Let's break down the first one.
The first psychological truth is all about a structural mismatch. See, a normal conversation moves in a straight line, right? From point A to B to C. But an asynchronous mind is multi-threaded. It's like a computer running multiple programs all at once. It's chasing tangents, making huge leaps in logic, and connecting ideas in this non-linear web of thought.
And that leads us directly to the second truth, the social consequences. Because your mind is working so differently, you find yourself finishing people's sentences in your head. You get that rising tide of impatience when someone is explaining something so slowly, and this gets misinterpreted. People don't see that you're 10 steps ahead. They see you as bored or arrogant or just completely checked out of the conversation.
Now the third truth, this one is just pure data. Research suggests that while the average person speaks at around 150 words per minute, the human brain can actually process speech at closer to 750 words per minute. That's the cognitive gap we're talking about. Your mind can operate up to 5 times faster than the information it's being fed.
Just stop and think about that for a moment. Your brain is basically a high-performance engine that's being forced to run at idle speed all day long. This constant state of waiting, of being underutilized, isn't just frustrating, it is mentally exhausting. And over time, it creates real friction in your relationships and this deep sense of being out of sync with everyone.
So, this all builds up to a central, really frustrating paradox. Why would a faster, more capable mind lead not to more connection, but to this profound feeling of isolation?
And the answer, when you get down to it, is both simple and profound. Cognitive psychology tells us the root cause is a lack of peers. It's that constant, draining search for someone who can meet you on your cognitive frequency, someone you don't have to slow down for, someone who can build on your ideas instead of just questioning how you got there. When that person is missing, loneliness is pretty much the inevitable result.
So, where does that leave you? Is this some kind of cognitive curse? A flaw in your system? Or is it possible we're looking at this all wrong? Maybe it's not a bug at all. Maybe it's just a different kind of mental operating system.
Let me be absolutely clear here. There is nothing wrong with you. This asynchronous nature is not a flaw that needs to be fixed. It is a fundamental feature of your mind's unique architecture. It is how you are wired.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. In a world that's only getting faster, a world that demands rapid problem solving and multi-threaded thinking, is your kind of intellect really a bug for the world we live in now? Or is it a feature, perfectly designed for a world that is still yet to come?
If you want to keep exploring the hidden truths of how your mind works, make sure you follow for more.